Let's go ahead and get it. Okay, I'm in now. Yes, good. All right, let's rock and roll. We're going to go over the driving test review questions. I'm going to go over the first portions 1 through 50. To limit your risks during the first 6 months of unsupervised driving, you should avoid carrying passengers. The more people you have in the car, the more likely you are to get distracted. So you want to reduce the number of passengers in the car, because if you try to make that mistake, you're going to end up being distracted and kill yourself. And then your teachers will be sad. The driving instructors will be sad. The nurses and doctors who tried to save you, your parents, and then the political leaders who made these laws will be sad. These laws are designed to protect you, not me, not your mom, not your dad, your age group up until you're 25. If you cannot prevent a person who has been drinking from driving, you should refuse to ride with the person. But because you're young and you'll do anything people tell you, it's called peer pressure, you're going to do what people tell you. Hey, jump off this mountain. Okay. Hey, ride this elephant. Okay. Hey, let's get into this car and drive 300 miles an hour. Okay. The hardest thing for you to do is say no, because you want to fit into a group. Once you learn that you can say no and still feel good about yourself, you will be fine. So that might happen at 17. It might happen at 21. It might happen at 24. It might not happen at all. You have identified a driver ahead of you who has been possibly a drunk driver. What is the first thing you should do? You want to maintain a safe following distance. You should be calling 911, because the drunk driver kills your mom, your dad, your loved ones. The drunk driver usually never gets hurt. It's all our responsibilities, part of the common good, to make sure that we let people know, hey, there's the drunk driver in the area. And then the authorities can get there and let them handle it. Country roads are the most dangerous roads for young drivers. Why? They are crown shaped. They are mud and dirt and gravel. They have a very soft shoulder. People on those roads tend to drive really fast. There's not many police. There are no traffic lights. There are no not clearly identified intersections. But the dangers are wild animals, deer, tractors, big trucks, and usually you see people who have flipped their car over and they're in a ditch. When do fatal crashes of young drivers most likely occur? During daytime on dry roads. You would think, man, it's got to be raining or snowing, but no, on clear, dry roads, because you get overconfident, you think you know how to drive, you're not paying attention right now. So as a result, your age group dies first, and you die in a car, an automobile accident. So until you reach age 25, some of you are 16, 10 years is 26. Some of you are 17, 10 years is 27. Some of you are 15, 9. You'll be 25, 9. So you have to be able to make it your next 10 years of life dealing with the machine that can kill you, but you're not listening to me. You're not listening to your mom. You're not listening to your dad. You're not listening to public service announcements. You think, man, that's that kid from that other school. But you are that kid from that other school. Next, impaired depth perception in drinking drivers causes the inability to judge distance. Alcohol will relax the muscle in your eye. So as a result, you can't focus. You can't stay in the lane. You can't walk in a straight line. But you get into a car and then you compound those issues. And because you can't say no, or you're too proud, or you don't have a good relationship with your mom and dad, you're scared to call your parents. So you got a lot to think about. Over 80% of young driver fatal car crashes occur on or during what type of weather? Fair weather conditions. On which 2 days of the week do most young driver fatal car crashes happen? Friday and Saturday. People are consuming. They're partying. They just got paid. You as a driver need to really think, what? I can't drive on Friday and Saturday? I didn't say that. But you need to be careful. But you're not going to listen to me as your instructor. You're not going to listen to your mom. You're not going to listen to your dad because you think you know everything. As a result, it's called the kryptonite quotient. You think you won't die because you're young. More people in your age group die than my age group. The perception of young male drivers involved in fatal car crashes is at an all-time high. Male drivers die more than female drivers. Male drivers have more accidents. You can look at Jake from State Farm. You can look at AAA, Mutual of Omaha. Do your research. All these national organizations do research. If your mom and dad are distracted, you're going to learn distracted driving. If your mom and dad maybe smoke, you might think smoking is okay. If your mom and dad drink a lot, you might think drinking is okay. You learn these behaviors from your mom and dad. If your mom and dad focus on good driving, drive at the speed limit, wear their seatbelt, do the good things, you're going to learn this behavior and you'll say, you know what? I don't want to drink. I'm not using. I'm going to leave. Mom and dad, I want to come home. This party, they lied to me. They're doing something that I know you wouldn't appreciate. Some of you had a relationship. Some of you don't. Your parents have one of the greatest influences on you right now. Which of the following is the self-imposed anxiety related to aggressive driving? I'm going to be late. Your age group speeds more than any other age group. You're late to practice. You're speeding. You're late going to school. You're speeding. You're late going home. You're speeding. You're late to your boyfriend or girlfriend's house. You're speeding. You're late to your job. You're speeding. And if you learn this behavior, you're going to speed 10, 15, or 20 over the limit. And then you're going to put yourself in danger of a fatal car crash where you are at fault because more people have dash cams, there are cameras out on the road, and the police have cameras in their car. So it's a learned behavior. Research indicates that young drivers' brains are not fully developed until 25 years old. This is why your insurance rates are so high. Many of you are under your parents' insurance right now because you can't afford car insurance, because it's too much. But if you keep driving and having a good driving record, no tickets, no at-fault accidents, eventually around 21, your parents are going to say, you know what, Austin? You need to start paying for your insurance. You have a good job. You have $8,000 saved up. Okay, mom and dad, it's pretty expensive. Honey, you're going to be fine. So it's going to come one day. Your parents can't keep carrying you. It's called responsibility. For every 500 miles driven, the average driver has at least one near collision. This is for all of us. Some of you are below average. Some of you are above average. You're going to almost hit a car. You're going to almost cut off a car. You're going to almost go into the ditch. You're going to almost run a red light. All of you do it. All drivers do it. So you got to say, man, I'm out of control, man. I got to slow down. I got to start resting at night. I'm staying out too late. My mom and dad don't really like those type of people. You know, I'm going to listen to my mom and dad, but you're not going to because you think you know better. Next, research indicates that errors and inexperience account for the largest percentage of young driver fatal car crashes. We didn't say you can't drive, but you don't have experience in a snowstorm. We didn't say you can't drive. It's been a heavy downpour for 20 minutes. The roads are most wet the first few minutes, but you're driving at the speed limit and someone slams brakes and you rear them and roll your car over. It takes time. Many of you haven't been to downtown areas because you stay in your suburban circle. Many of you haven't been on country roads because you don't want to get your car dirty. But one of your friends lives on 42-mile road. They live on 36-mile road. And there's a party there. And you're late to the party and you're going to speed and deer come out. If you must leave the roadway at a high rate of speed, you should search for an open zone. Open zones means a grass embankment. You don't want to hit a tree. You don't want to hit a pole. You don't want to hit a car. Side swipe, glancing blow. The largest single category for errors of young drivers that leads to a crash is improper visual search. You're not looking far enough ahead. You may see the car in front, but you don't see the truck in front. You didn't check your rear mirror. You're speeding, they're speeding, you slow down real hard, they rear end you and hit you. Many of you aren't paying attention because you think, bruh, it's not important. I wish you hurry up. I'm trying to help you live to make 24, to make 25. You are traveling on a 2-lane road and an oncoming driver drifts into your lane and is headed straight for you, which is a good rule to remember. You can almost always miss an object more quickly than you can stop. You can't stop at 70. I got good brakes, bro. No. No, you can't just stop. It's better to sideswipe. So you got to really remember these defensive driving things. You are about to be struck from behind at a stop sign. What should you do? Release the brake. You will be pushed forward, but you want to release the brake. If you decide to leave the road to avoid a hazard or an emergency, you should keep in mind that you may be unable to re-enter the road because the shoulder condition. Some shoulders drop off. Some shoulders have really big potholes. Some shoulders have a very soft dirt that will force your car down, and if you overcorrect, you're going to roll your car over. So in that off-road recovery situation, you want to gradually slow down and gradually try to bring the front tire up, then the rear tire. Taking 2 or more drugs together will increase its effects. It's called synergy. And marijuana is a gateway drug. Smoking is a gateway drug. These drugs lead to other drugs. This is a part of the class. Your age group is very palpable to following an older sister, an older brother, an older uncle, someone using at a party. And once you get hooked in, you're going to stop caring about school. You're going to stop caring about sports. You're going to stop caring how you look. It's a very slow, gradual takeaway from your youth. You're going to be 17, but you're going to look 57, 67. You're going to be 18, but you look 88. And you do see young people getting addicted more and more and more. We try to help you, but you don't have the family support. You don't have the school support. We understand this. Next, the first principle in controlling the consequences of a crash is to avoid a head-on collision. Head-on collisions are the most dangerous. The crumple zone is the zone in the vehicle that absorbs some of the crash. Therefore, the right corner, left corner, driver's side corner, passenger side corner, those areas are designed to take some of the blow. On average, how many drinks will alcohol start to affect a person's driving ability? 1. So you have to be strong and make that decision during your grad parties. When you lose the state championship to your rival. When you win the state championship to your rival. When your classmate gets a scholarship to the University of Alabama. You've got to stay focused on the goal. The goal is to have a long life. Straddling the center lane, driving too close, or drifting in the lanes are common signs of a drinking driver. We want to call the police. We want to increase our following distance. It's for the common good. Inertia is the main reason that safety belts are important in a car. They keep you from being thrown out. When a vehicle hits a fixed object, a tree, what is the most important factor in determining how hard it hits the tree? It's the speed of the vehicle. Rubbernecking is the term used to describe a person who is making eye contact at a crash. I'm rubbernecking. I just hit you. I'm rubbernecking. I just ran a light. So you have to avoid rubbernecking. The danger of a driver using marijuana is that it lessens their ability to control the vehicle. The best time to address distractions that affect the driver is before the driver begins. You want to minimize this. Tell your friends, you need to stop. I'm trying to drive us to the party safely. Can you stop talking? But if your friends talk too much, maybe you need new friends. Austin's like, yeah, bro, I'm really tired. It's not important to me. I'm looking at your body language. It tells me a lot. I'm just saying. You want to secure loose objects like your baseball bat. When you go to baseball camp in Texas and you stop real hard because the truck comes and the baseball hits you in the head and gives you a concussion, Aggressive driving is driving a vehicle in a pushy, bold, or selfish manner. A sophomore is driving their car. They're driving really slow. You're late to school. Your scout is there from Clemson. You're going to speed and go around them, but then you hit a car. For young drivers, the problem of being distracted is made worse by the lack of experience. It takes time, 10 years. You've got to make it to that 10-year point. For 16-year-old drivers, the risk of fatal car crashes involving increases more than 150% when 3 or more passengers get into the car. I keep telling you about this. You keep hearing more passengers, more distractions. Why do you think states limit the number of passengers? But you guys aren't going to listen to me. You're going to have all your friends in the car. You're going to be distracted. Self-imposed anxieties are related to aggressive driving. I'm late to school. You have 10 tardies. You're about to lose credit. You're going to speed. And then your mom and dad's going to have to go to attendance hearing. How do I know? Because I'm going to be a principal. And I'm going to say, you missed 10 days. You missed 12 days. You're going to have to go to summer school. I'm going to go to the school board. They're going to say the same thing. The first thing you should do is slow down. If a vehicle signals or is flashing its brakes, slow down. Constantly rushing, lane jumping, ignoring certain road signs or regulation signs is called rush-in. If you're late to school, you're late going home, you're late to your first day on the job, and you get fired your first day on the job. Or you're late to see your boyfriend or girlfriend and they're waiting for you. Constantly ridiculing, criticizing other drivers to self and passengers and closing the gap to deny entry is called total aggression. People have dash cams. Yep, this kid cut me off. He was putting up his middle finger. They were throwing trash at me. It's all on the kid's dash cam. I guess you're going to be arrested because the police will come and knock on your door. My son was in the house. Your son was on video. Don't respond, don't engage, don't choose, and choose to be tolerant is the formula for dealing with anger. No one is perfect. When confronted by an aggressive driver, the first thing you should do in order to avoid becoming involved in road rage, make every attempt to get away from them. Age group's influence on a person is called peer pressure. It's greatest in your group because we're talking about young adults. Peer pressure is your hardest thing. Drivers must always keep in mind that their driving can be affected by their emotions. You lost your boyfriend. You lost your girlfriend. You got cheated on. They posted it on the interweb. You're angry. You go out of the parking lot, mad. You don't look. You run over a middle school kid. Blind spots in areas behind you you cannot see in a rearview mirror. To offset this problem, when changing lanes, you should turn your head. But many of you don't check your blind spot. There's a blind spot to the left. I just checked. There's a blind spot to the right. I just checked. There's one in front of me and behind me. When drivers lose control of their road rage, you can reduce the chances of being hit by something in the front of you at night if you drive slow enough to see and be seen. After making a right turn at an intersection, you should adjust your speed to the flow of the traffic. What is the only effective way to reduce bodily alcohol content? Allow your body to get rid of the alcohol. When driving fast around a curve, your car will tend to move outside of the curve. 51